So right now, would you say that the legislation that you've passed is working reasonably well? But would you say the Fed has done as good a job as you would like them to do? They have a lending program, which I think has not yet actually lent money. And can you say whether the president is happy today or happier today with the secretary, with the head of the Federal Reserve?
Well, I think the Federal Reserve has done a phenomenal job. We speak to them almost on a daily basis. These programs are a combination of work of the Federal Reserve and the Treasury, and I think we've worked very well together. Every single one of these programs is now up and running. So we have a municipal bond program, we have a money market program, we have a commercial paper program, we have a Main Street program that's now up and running, we have a corporate primary and secondary. We had a program that lent to banks and non-banks for PPP loans. So the Fed acted in unprecedented response. And yes, I think you've seen the president is very pleased with what the Fed has been doing.
Okay. In terms of these programs, they do cost money. So the debt of the United States has increased a fair bit. I think maybe $4 trillion or something like that. Are you worried about the impact of that either on the dollar or on inflation?
Well, David, this is like a war. Fighting this virus is like fighting a war. And the president and I were determined to spend what we needed to spend to protect the American workers and the American public. This was not their fault. So no different than going into a war. You don't say, I'm going to stop here and deal with the consequences. I think over the long term, the good news is long-term interest rates are very low. So the cost of this debt is very low. We're borrowing a lot of money long term. We have a lot of liquidity. The dollar is the reserve currency of the world, so we have a lot of liquidity in borrowing. And yes, over time, we're going to need to deal with the debt. I think you have to look at both the debt as a percentage of GDP and a percentage of what it costs to carry it. So these are things we'll look at over time.